Boom, guys. So all of you asking always, how do you find motivated sellers for wholesaling real estate in 2024? We just came out of a seller's appointment right here, face to face, and we actually have another one locked up right nearby here. Guys, look at the house behind me, right? If you're driving around this neighborhood and you see a house like this is an opportunity. This says I am distressed. Nobody's taking care of it. It's probably vacant, and guess what? It is vacant. So Andrew here, he found. How did you found this deal?
This was actually a cold call, but inside of the cold call, it was difficult to find the homeowner herself, as I know she lived inside of New Jersey, like the guy said. So
Okay.
we reached out to the niece, and then the niece cousin, and then the cousin reached out to the nephew, and then
What list did you go on?
It was a pre-foreclosure list, of course. Mama,
Okay.
come on now.
So the homeowner here is actually behind, so they're about to lose the home. The bank is about to take the home because they haven't paid the mortgage for a while.
Yeah.
Right? So he cold called them. So he has this is list they can find where for free.
You can find this on the Georgia Public Notice. We have third-party website, auction.com, preforeclosure.com, anyway.
Right. So he cold called the sellers, and this right here, the one in I think what 110.
Yeah, 110.
$110,000, guys. This property after it's fully fixed up. What is the ARV on it?
Yeah, we're looking at 290.
What's the ARV for the new build?
Yeah, so the ARV is just the resale value. Once everything's fixed up and clean, you can sell it for 292.
Yeah, so that means if it's fully renovated, by the way, there's a flip that just sold right here, right?
$299.
So once it's renovated, it's worth like, let's just call it 300 for round numbers.
Yep.
So imagine putting this property here under contract for 110. So how much can we sell it as is, right? Sell the contract as is.
Bro, you can make $60,000 to $70,000 right now.
Right, so we can sell it for 160, 170, right? By the way, the other one we have an Orbit right nearby here.
Right.
We sold it for how much? We got it for how much and sold it for how much?
Yeah, we picked that up for $90K and we're selling it right now for $160, $53,000.
That's the pre-foreclosure as well. I'm telling you guys, 2024, best way to get started, go after pre-foreclosures. Number one, the data is free. You can find it online. Number two, you can cold call or door knock like Andrew does it. That's the best way to find the best deals actually,
100%.
right? Door knocking, but this is the kind of assets that you can just sell a contract, make it 60 grand, 70 grand. The big spreads come from the government list. So you have this, you have the probate. What are the probates?
The probates are people who dead and leave property, and then the inheritance probably just have too much with the property. As I can see, these properties, them inherit a lot of stuff, liens, foreclosures, and they just want to give it away and just get some money from it.
Yeah, but if you guys see the house inside is vandalized, completely trashed, right? The other one was the same. We couldn't breathe even though the seller lived inside. But Andrew, so how do you negotiate with these sellers? When I call a seller on a property like this, one, they're distressed, two, the property, they're about to lose it with the bank. Like, how do you actually negotiate with these sellers? How do you talk to them?
Well, whenever we reach out to these sellers, the first thing we want to know is what is the long-term goal at the property. A property like this, obviously, they're looking to sell it. We try to figure out what is it that they're looking to walk away with. We'll figure out what is owed to the bank, if the title is clear, if they are aware of any liens, questions like those, and just try to see if we could find any type of problems that needs solution, and then just be a solutionist, basically.
Boom. Because remember, guys, it's not only they're losing the property from the bank, right? They have that stress. Typically, like this one, you have the nephew, the niece, and the aunt. So it's a family dynamic,
Yeah, it's a
right?
triangle,
Sometimes
yeah.
they all don't get along. And then you have this one want to make this amount, the other one want to make that amount. So when you're wholesaling, actually you're a problem solver. So when you call these sellers, what you're really trying to do is to find the problem. The problem has nothing to do with the house. Trust me. The problem has to do with, hey, I want to let it go because I don't have the funds, plus my aunt need this, I have medical bills. You focus on talking about their personal problems and then try to see what they're trying to accomplish when they get the money and how much money is going to help them accomplish what they're trying to accomplish, and then you get the contract by solving that problem. So remember, wholesaling is purely problem solving, and then as a result you get these properties under contract and you can wholesale the contract. Guys, making $60,000 just for wholesaling a piece of paper, we don't even have to flush the toilet. Now right now we're scaled, so if for us we can take it down ourselves if we wanted to, but man, sometimes these checks are so sweet just selling the contract. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. But so now we do all the negotiation and stuff. Now they understand how to do that. How do you actually sell it to an end buyer? Like, how do you approach it? Once we go, hey Steve, call the buyer, let's go, we got the contract, time to sell the contract. Like, how do you talk to this buyer?
Yeah, so it's pretty simple. Once you get all the pictures and everything.
First, where do they find the cash buyers to buy their contract?
So you want to find these cash buyers on PropStream.
Okay.
That's one of the Facebook is free. PropStream is probably the best one ever. Even the guy up there that just sold this property not too long ago, we can sell it to him.
Right. So meaning if you found properties that sold in the area, like fully fixed up, you can call that agent and say, hey, I have a property right nearby where you sold the 123 Main Street. Is your buyer interested in a similar project, right? Because it's most likely a fix and flipper that sold that. And then when you call these buyers, are you taking the first offer, or how are you organizing like for them to come see the property, blah blah, give you the best and highest offer? Like, how do you approach that with the buyers?
Yeah,
What's
so-
the conversation look like?
Yeah, so pretty cool. So once we actually talk to the buyers, we tell them, hey, we have a project in a similar area to you guys. And then once we go ahead and get that under contract, pretty much what we'll do is I try to line up at least 3 to 4 buyers after I show them the pictures. So we send them pictures out, line up 3 to 4 buyers, and then from there we just take the highest and best offer from that point. We try to get them all through in one day as well.
And this one, Mamadou, remember, this guy also is under contract right now with someone else who looked at them, cannot perform. So was the one around the other street. So there's a lot of wholesalers who cannot perform, who don't know how to get cash buyers, who don't even purchase themselves, keep locking up these properties, Mamadou, and cannot perform on these.
Yo, that's a huge nugget. Listen, when you're talking to these homeowners, one of the most important thing you can do is to educate these homeowners, right? That's how you can stand out. If you can educate them and teach them something on the call, that's how you build credibility and they want to work with you. So when you talk to a homeowner and they say I'm under contract, it doesn't mean they're gonna close. Absolutely not, right? Most likely they're under contract with a wholesaler that cannot perform. So if you can educate them on, hey, just make sure you deal with a legit investor, or even if it's a wholesaler that they have the buyer lined up and this is what you should look out for. Like I was educating this seller right now, he was, oh, I didn't know all of that. Like I'm like, hey, do you know what a memorandum is? Make sure you didn't file a memorandum on your property. There is no lease pending. There's no lease pendants on your property, so that in case we're buying it, we're not stuck and all of that. So that's a huge nugget right there, guys. So just a seller saying I'm under contract doesn't mean that the buyer is going to perform. So you have to follow up. Okay, you're under contract. When are you supposed to close? Oh, I'm supposed to close on the 10th. Okay, the 10th. Okay, great. Has the buyer already put earnest money down? What is earnest money? Well, earnest money is the money they have to put down to make the contract what?
Legally bind.
Right? So
Legitimate
legally
contract,
bind. Did they put that? Are you sure? Did you verify with the title company? Did you call the title company? Did you even know that the title company or the title attorney or the closing attorney is a neutral party that don't work for the buyer, nor work for the seller? So if you call them, they're supposed to let you know if they put in the earnest money, and it shouldn't take more than 24 hours. Because if they haven't, then it's a red flag, right?
Of course.
So you go through all of that. By the time you're done, the seller's like, oh, I haven't thought about that. Man, I didn't even know all these things, and now they trust you more and want to work with you more. And in case the contract falls through, or they find out that the person is not legit, guess who they reach out to?
You.
Yeah.
That's how we got the other one, and we're about to make how much?
53,000.
53,000.
That's how
And
we're gonna get this one.
so many deals like that, guys. So listen, this is like, there's so many ways you can get this. You can find this property on a list. That's one. Secondly, you could be driving too. You could be driving for dollars, getting in your car and driving this kind of neighborhood. Look at the neighborhood is beautiful. And we're gonna show you guys around a little bit, but the neighborhood is beautiful, right? So you can drive around in this neighborhood. You see a bunch of beautiful houses. Look, all this street here is beautiful houses. Then you come here, boom. Everything like the grass, you can tell like the roof is completely a mess. That's an opportunity right here, right? So you could literally be in your car and the only cost you have is what? Gas money, right? So one way is you sit on your couch, you do the calls. The second way is you can drive around and find these ugly houses. Third way, you can even door knock them, right? Like, there's so many ways
Text
you can do
blast them, cold call them.
yeah, you can
email
text
them,
blast, you can
Facebook
put out
them.
blast. There's so
Instagram,
many different ways,
Instagram.
guys. So 2024, best way to get started. Number one, pre-foreclosures. Number two, everything that has to do with government lists.
Right.
And guys, if you're in the Georgia market, reach out to us. More than happy to collaborate and work with you guys. We're looking to JV with you. If you're new, you generate these kind of leads and you don't know how to talk to these sellers, reach out. We'll help you close them. All right. If you need somebody to help you negotiate with the banks as well, sometimes when you deal with this kind of sellers, like the other one, we have to help them with what, 85.
85.
Reinstate the loan, yeah.
Reinstate the loan
There
and
was
stuff.
too close to the auction date.
To the auction,
I'd was
yeah.
to reinstate the loan, then do the purchase.
Right. So we do have in-house bank negotiators that can actually help you and help your seller. Call the lender, talk to them, and all that fun stuff. So, guys, reach out. Where can they find you guys?
Andrew Powell _investor and Mamadou channel.
_ Stephen Blow _ best dispo manager. I can dispo all your deals, so feel free
Yeah.
to hit me up.
So Instagram at Real Estate Diallo, guys. Find me on all social media platforms: TikTok, Snapchats, even the ones they haven't created yet. Mr. Boom himself. Boom, boom,
Boom.
Boom.
boom.